the English you need to work, communicate, and grow.
Hello, and welcome to 20 Minutes English for Work podcast. If you understand English but feel nervous when you need to speak at work, this episode is for you.
Maybe you already had this feeling before an interview. You know what you want to say, you practiced in your head, but when the moment comes, the words don't come out the way you want.
And that can be frustrating. You might think, my English is not good enough, or what if I make a mistake? My name is Liz.
And my name is Tom.
This podcast is here to help you practice English for real work situations in a simple and natural way, step by step, without pressure.
Subscribe to the channel because here you can practice everyday, real work situations, just like interviews, meetings, emails, and conversations with colleagues.
You are not alone in this journey. And tell us in the comments where you are from. We really love to read your messages.
In today's episode, you're going to listen to a realistic dialogue about how to prepare yourself for a job interview.
Don't worry if you don't understand everything the first time. That's completely normal.
After the dialogue, we will explain the main sentences, important vocabulary, and cultural tips from the professional world, step by step.
So now, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and remember, you're doing great.
Let's begin.
Hey, Rachel, do you have a moment? I know your schedule is full today, but I really need some advice.
Of course, Daniel. I can spare a few minutes. What's on your mind?
I have an interview next week, and honestly, I feel a mix of excitement and stress. The interview will be in English, and I want to feel confident, not frozen.
That's completely normal. Many people feel the same way, especially when English is not their first language. The good news is, preparation makes a huge difference.
That's exactly why I wanted to talk to you. I feel confident about my technical skills, but when it comes to explaining my experience in English, I sometimes struggle.
You're already on the right path. Asking for help is a smart move. Let's take this step by step so it feels manageable.
I'd really appreciate that. Where do you think I should begin?
Start with your story. Before any interview, you should be able to explain who you are professionally in a clear and simple way. Can you describe your current role?
I work as a project coordinator. I organize tasks, follow deadlines, and communicate with different teams to make sure everything runs smoothly.
That's a great explanation, very clear. If an interviewer asks, "Can you tell me about your current position?" you can say exactly that.
Sometimes I feel like my English sounds too simple.
Simple is good. In interviews, clear communication is more important than complex vocabulary. Remember, you want to be understood, not impress with difficult words.
That makes sense. I think I put too much pressure on myself.
Many people do. Keep going, you're doing great. Now, let's talk about common interview questions.
Yes, please. That part makes me nervous.
Questions like, "Tell me about yourself," are very common. You should prepare a short, professional answer focused on your work experience.
So I shouldn't talk about personal details?
Not at first. You can briefly mention your background, then focus on your career, for example, your role, your skills, and what you're looking for.
I see. And what about strengths and weaknesses?
For strengths, choose things that match the job, for example, communication, organization, or teamwork. For weaknesses, be honest but strategic.
Strategic how?
You can mention a real weakness, but also explain how you're improving it. That shows self-awareness and growth.
Like saying, I used to struggle with public speaking, but I've been practicing and improving.
Exactly. That's a perfect example.
That feels much safer than just saying a weakness.
Yes, and interviewers appreciate that. Another important topic is how you handle pressure.
That question always scares me.
It doesn't need to. You can answer calmly and professionally. For example, when I'm under pressure, I focus on priorities and communicate clearly with my team.
That sounds very natural.
It is. You don't need to invent dramatic stories, just be real.
What if I don't understand a question during the interview?
Then you ask for clarification. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Did you mean short term or long term?"
I always feel embarrassed to ask that.
Don't be. It shows professionalism. It's better to ask than to answer the wrong question.
That's true. I never thought about it that way.
Also, prepare examples from your work. Interviewers love real situations.
I have a few in mind, like managing deadlines or solving conflicts between teams.
Perfect. Try to structure your answers: situation, action, and result.
Let me try one. We had overlapping deadlines, so I reorganized tasks and communicated clearly with everyone. As a result, we finished on time.
That's a strong answer. Very clear and professional.
This practice is really helping me feel calmer.
I'm glad. Another thing people forget is preparing questions for the interviewer.
I didn't know that was important.
It is. When they ask, "Do you have any questions?" you should always have at least one.
What kind of questions are appropriate?
You can ask about expectations, team culture, or next steps. For example, what does success look like in this role?
That sounds confident and interested.
Exactly. It shows you're thinking about the future.
What about speaking speed? I tend to talk very fast when I'm nervous.
That's very common. If that happens, pause. You can say, "Let me think for a moment."
That phrase is very useful.
Yes, and very natural. You can also say, "That's a good question."
I'll write those down.
Good idea. Also, pay attention to your tone of voice. Calm and clear is better than fast and perfect.
I'll try to remember that.
And don't forget body language even in online interviews. Sit straight, look at the camera, and smile naturally.
First impressions matter, right?
They do, but don't overthink it. The interviewer wants to understand you, not judge you.
That perspective really helps.
Good. And remember, small mistakes are okay. If you make a grammar mistake, just continue.
I always panic when that happens.
Try not to. Communication is about connection. You're doing better than you think.
Thank you. I really needed to hear that.
Before we finish, let's do one more practice question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why do you want this position?
Let me think. I want this position because it matches my experience and I like working with organized teams and clear goals.
That's a very solid answer.
Practicing like this makes everything feel more possible.
Exactly. Study English every day, even a little, and repeat these answers out loud.
I will. Thank you so much for your time and support.
You're welcome. You can do this. Walk into that interview prepared and confident.
I will. I really appreciate your help.
Anytime, and let me know how it goes after the interview.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 20 Minutes English for Work podcast. Now that you've listened to the full dialogue, it's time to slow things down and really understand what was said.
That's right. In this part, we're going to review useful sentences from the dialogue, explain how and when to use them, talk about important vocabulary, and also share cultural tips about interviews and the professional environment.
Don't worry if you didn't understand everything the first time. That's normal. Keep going. You're doing great. This explanation will make everything much clearer. Phrase 1. Do you have a moment?
This is a very polite and professional way to ask for someone's time. In the dialogue, Daniel uses this phrase to show respect for Rachel's schedule. In the workplace, time is valuable, so this sentence is very common. You can use "Do you have a moment?" when you want to ask a question, request help, or start a conversation without sounding rude or demanding. It works well in offices, meetings, and even online chats.
For example, you can say, "Do you have a moment to discuss the deadline?" Or, "Do you have a moment? I need some clarification." Another way to say this is, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" Or, "When you have a moment, I have a question." These variations are also polite and professional. Notice how none of them sound aggressive or urgent unless you add that tone. Phrase 2. I could really use your help.
This phrase shows humility and collaboration. Daniel is not demanding help, he's asking politely and honestly. In professional English, this kind of language builds trust.
You can use this phrase when you need guidance, advice, or support from a colleague or manager. It shows that you value the other person's experience. Example: I could really use your help with this report.
A similar option is, I'd appreciate your input. This sounds slightly more formal and works well in emails or meetings.
Phrase 3. Let's break it down step by step.
This is a powerful phrase in work situations. It means you want to simplify a problem and deal with it in parts. Rachel uses it to calm Daniel and make the situation feel manageable.
You can use this in meetings, training sessions, or interviews when explaining complex tasks. Example: let's break it down step by step so everyone understands.
You can also say, let's take it one step at a time. This is very reassuring and common in professional communication.
Phrase 4. That makes sense?
This phrase shows understanding and agreement. Daniel uses it to confirm he understands Rachel's explanation. In interviews, this phrase helps show engagement and active listening.
Example: that makes sense. Thank you for explaining.
Another option is, I understand. Simple, clear, and professional.
Phrase 5. Sorry, could you repeat that?
This is extremely important for non-native speakers. Asking for repetition is not a weakness. It shows responsibility and professionalism.
Use this phrase whenever you miss information or don't fully understand a question. You can also say, could you say that again, please? Both are polite and widely accepted in professional settings. Phrase 6. Let me think for a moment.
This phrase gives you time. In interviews, silence can feel uncomfortable, but this sentence helps you pause naturally and think.
You can also say, that's a good question. Interviewers hear this all the time, and it sounds confident. Phrase 7. I really appreciate that.
Gratitude is very important in professional English. This phrase sounds warm, respectful, and professional.
You can also say, thank you, I appreciate your support. This works well with colleagues and managers.
Now, let's focus on some important vocabulary from the dialogue. These words are very common in interviews and daily work conversations.
Understanding these words will help you feel more confident and prepared when speaking English at work. Word 1. Deadline. A deadline is the final date or time by which something must be completed. In the workplace, deadlines are very important. Example: we need to meet the deadline by Friday. Antonym: flexibility, when timing is more open. Word 2. Priority. Priority means something that is more important than other tasks. In interviews, employers often ask how you manage priorities. Example: this task is a top priority right now. Antonym: secondary, less important. Word 3. Clarification. Clarification means making something clearer or easier to understand. Asking for clarification is a professional habit. Example: can I ask for clarification on this point? Antonym: confusion, lack of clarity. Word 4. Responsibility. Responsibility refers to tasks or duties you are expected to manage. Example: one of my responsibilities is coordinating the team. Antonym: irresponsibility, not taking duties seriously. Word 5. Feedback. Feedback is information about your performance, often used to improve work. Example: I received positive feedback from my manager. Antonym: silence, no comment. Word 6. Expectation. Expectation refers to what is required or hoped for in a role. Example: the expectations for this position are very clear. Antonym: uncertainty, ambiguity.
Now let's talk about cultural tips. Understanding culture is just as important as vocabulary.
Absolutely. In many English-speaking workplaces, interviews are structured but friendly. The interviewer expects clear answers, not perfect grammar.
Tone of voice matters a lot. Speaking calmly and clearly is better than speaking fast and making mistakes.
Also, being honest is valued. If you don't know something, it's okay to say, "I'm still learning, but I'm motivated."
Meetings and interviews often respect time. Being punctual shows professionalism and respect.
Also, feedback is usually direct but polite. It's not personal. It's about improving performance.
Another important point is formality. Most interviews start formally, but they may become more relaxed. Follow the interviewer's tone.
And remember, asking questions at the end of an interview is expected. It shows interest in preparation.
Finally, confidence doesn't mean arrogance. It means being calm, prepared, and respectful. Now that you've listened to the dialogue and the explanations, this is the moment where everything starts to feel more practical. These model sentences are here to help you speak with more confidence in real interview situations.
Exactly. Think of these sentences as tools. You don't need to memorize everything. You just need to recognize them, practice them, and slowly start using them at work.
If you felt nervous during the dialogue before, don't worry. Now, when you listen again, things will feel clearer and easier. You're doing great. Keep going. 1. Talking about yourself. Full version. I currently work as a project coordinator, where I organize tasks, follow deadlines, and communicate with different teams to make sure projects move forward smoothly.
Short version. I work as a project coordinator. Another full version. I've had experience working with deadlines, priorities, and team communication in a professional environment. Short version. I work with deadlines and teamwork.
These sentences are perfect for the beginning of an interview. You don't need long explanations at first. Clear and simple answers are more than enough.
And remember, if the interviewer wants more details, they will ask. Start simple.
2. Talking about your experience. Full version. In my current role, I'm responsible for coordinating tasks between departments and making sure everyone understands their responsibilities.
Short version. I coordinate tasks between teams. Another full version. I've worked in roles where organization and clear communication were very important. Short version. I work with organization and communication.
Notice how these sentences focus on responsibility and clarity. These are strong words in interviews. 3. Talking about strengths. Full version. One of my main strengths is organization. I like planning tasks and setting clear priorities.
Short version. My strength is organization. Another full version. I'm very comfortable working with deadlines and managing my time effectively. Short version. I manage my time well.
You don't need to exaggerate. Simple strengths sound honest and professional. 4. Talking about weaknesses. Safely. Full version. One area I'm improving is public speaking. I've been practicing and feel more confident now.
Short version. I'm improving my public speaking. Another full version. I used to feel nervous in meetings, but I'm more comfortable now with practice. Short version. I'm more confident now.
Always show improvement. That's the key. 5. Talking about pressure and deadlines. Full version. When I'm under pressure, I focus on priorities and communicate clearly with my team.
Short version. I focus on priorities. Another full version. I stay calm under pressure by organizing my tasks and following a clear plan. Short version. I stay calm and organized.
These answers show emotional control, which interviewers really value. 6. Asking for clarification. Full version. Sorry, could you repeat that question, please?
Short version. Could you repeat that, please? Another full version. Did you mean short-term goals or long-term goals? Short version. Short-term or long-term?
Never guess. Asking for clarification is always the best option. You've just finished another episode of 20 Minutes English for Work podcast. And today, we talked about how to prepare yourself for an interview in English.
We explored a real conversation, reviewed useful phrases, learned important work vocabulary, and talked about cultural tips that can make a big difference in interviews.
You learned how to talk about yourself, your experience, your strengths, and how to answer questions calmly, even when you feel nervous.
You also learned that it's okay to ask for clarification, to take a moment to think, and to speak in simple, clear English.
Remember, interviews are not about perfect grammar. They are about communication, clarity, and confidence.
Ask yourself, how do I usually feel before an interview? Which phrases from today's episode can I start using right away?
Try to apply at least one sentence from this episode in your next interview or work conversation. Small steps create big results.
Study English every day, even if it's just a few minutes. Keep going. You're doing great.
If this episode helped you, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who is preparing for an interview, and leave a comment telling us where you're listening from.
Your comments motivate us to keep creating content for real work situations.
Thank you for spending these minutes with us today.
Take care, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.